Why, hello, mathematicians, Mrs. Hall here. I've left London. Now I'm back in the South, and I'm so excited to do this math lesson with y'all. Again, if you forgot, and I know some of you have, it's the water evaporation experiment, lesson number 3. May McCorner. All right, if you didn't notice, we're already on day 14. Okay, friends, I can't do it. It's just my southern accent isn't great. All right, I'm going to go back to my regular voice. In Google Classroom, remember you have your doc that's there to help you record your observations in the days. So make sure you've X'd up through 14 days because that's where we are right now in our experiment. And where we left off on day 6, we were at 160 milliliters. Remember, we had recorded that 40 milliliters were evaporated in our first week of the experiment. Okay, so your old evaporation record sheet should look just like this. And we're going to be recording on the same doc with new information today. So on day 9, I took a photo and noticed that the line is hitting sort of right in between 150 milliliters and 140. That it's a little bit closer to 150 milliliters. So I recorded day 9 to be 148 mLs. Again, I didn't make observations on days 7 and 8, but that's okay because with a line graph, we're going to be able to get an idea of what those days look like. All right, on day 12, I recorded an observation of 138 mLs. Now, I know it looks lower on one side, but I really am just using this side. Again, it's sort of in the middle, a little bit closer to 140. If you feel like it's 135 mLs, that's okay too. And that was for day 12. Day 13, I noticed that we had gone down to about 124. The line right in between 130 mLs and 120. And then I also recorded on day 14. And notice we're really exactly at 120 mLs. If you go from this side, obviously this side looks a little less, but 120. So when you update your logs, it should look just like this. Again, don't worry that I didn't do days 10 and 11 or days 7 and 8 because that was intentional and that's all right. Your line graph will help you figure out what happened on those days, and I'll show you how. For day 15, I'd like you to make a prediction, and I want you to highlight it in red. So if I was going to make a prediction, I might say 116 mLs, or maybe I'd be more bold and I'd say 110 mLs. It's up to you. You decide and you make a prediction. Highlight it in red. All right, now we're going to update your line graphs. Some of you just followed along with me. Some of you wrote in your writer's notebook. Some of you created line graphs online. So take a second, go grab your math journals and a pencil or whatever you had used for your first line graph lesson, and then we'll get started updating together. Okay, you're all set. Here we go. Here's where we left off. Remember, we were on day 6 and we were down to 160 mLs. Now we're going to be adding in day 9. Day 9, we recorded at 148 mLs, and I put my little plot, my dot, on day 9, and I used the line function to attach. So even though I didn't record days 6 and 7, I can really see that day 7 and 8, I can really see that on day 7 I was somewhere around 157 mLs. On day 8, most likely around 152, 150, and then down to 148 for day 9. All the way to day 12, again, I put my dot lined up with day 12, and I also made sure that it intersected with 138 mL, so I put my dot right below the 140 line. I connected my dots, and that told me really that on day 9, the water level was approximately somewhere around 143 mLs, and then on day 10, day 11, it passed through about 140 mLs. Quick drop to day 13, we're down to 124. Oh, and then day 14, we are right at 120 milliliters. Even if the lines look a little bit different, that's okay. Really what we're looking for is trends over time, right? We're looking for change over time with a line graph. So, can you make any observations, hypotheses, predictions? Do you have any questions? Please post your answers and/or your questions on the Number Corner Padlet. But wait, there's one more activity for today. On Google Classroom, let me move myself over here, or on your Google Classrooms, there is look at line graphs practice page. And what I'd like you to do is read the text and look at the picture in the box and match them to the graph that makes the most sense. So for example, if I looked at the first text box, a cup filled with 200 mLs of water was left on the windowsill. It evaporated completely in a little less than 4 weeks. I would be looking for the exact same graph that matched that text box. So I hope that for all of you, this is a great way to bring together all these skills you've been learning with analyzing graphs and synthesizing data. Okay, great work, mathematicians, and we will talk soon.